This meeting is being live streamed.
Nice.
By staying in this meeting, you consent to being live streamed. Anyone with access to the live stream can watch or share with others. Look.
Is it working?
Amazing.
Is it the right YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Cool. Are we
It
like
is.
live right now?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm laughing at myself because it's like a 20-second delay or something like that.
Oh.
So this is like on YouTube right now.
Well,
how about that? I know it's weird. So how are you? Welcome to Next Level from Level with Emily. I'm Emily Reese, and that there is our producer, Sam Keenan. Say hi, Sam.
Hello, everyone.
And we like to chat together about whatever episode that we've been working on in anticipation of what comes out on Fridays. And this week it is Ed Critchley from South of the Circle, and we'll talk about him in just a minute. But yeah, how you been? What's new? How's St. Paul, Minnesota?
It's cold, snowy.
Yeah, it's that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're like 20 degrees below normal right now, so that we love it. We love that.
Do we?
No. We don't love that at all, because this is the next 6 months of our lives. This is it.
Dark and cold and
6 months. Yeah. Buckle up. Yeah.
Off to the Caribbean.
Yeah, I know. I wish. We'll take our live stream with us. But yeah, I had a really fun lunch today where I met up with a colleague and we talked about some really fun Zelda music stuff. So I don't really want to give too much more away than that, but that was really cool. And so I've already had a very gamey day, which has been nice, even though I haven't played any yet today. But yeah, that's me. So, so I interviewed Ed Critchley. He's a British fella who did the music for this game, South of the Circle, which came out on mobile 2 years ago. So it's been a minute since the game came out on mobile and has been now moved to other consoles and the like. So you can play it on, whatever PlayStation and stuff, I believe. But I did the interview, and then a few days later I do an edit, and then I send it to you, and then you make everything sound really good with, fades and all. It's way more complicated than that, but you actually spent a lot of time making Ed sound really good too. Even though he sounded good, but the quality of his audio in certain places you futzed around with, I know. So we both spent a lot of time with this episode, as is pretty normal, and it's just fun to kind of get together and talk about it. So what did you think of Ed Critchley and the music for South of the Circle?
It was fun. He seems like a lovely, nice, wonderful dude, and just just fun and funny and I could hang out with that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely made me laugh several times. The score itself is laid back in the sense that it's a very narrative driven game about some really serious topics set in the Cold War. So there's just a lot of dialogue that he was more or less accompanying in a way than necessarily music that's interactive in a lot of games, but so more scoring to picture like you would for film, but still I just thought really a beautiful soundtrack with lots of really great piano. What did you think of that?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like the soundtrack was really beautiful, and it was nice, and it was all ambient and expansive, and it was neat how he got the simple tracks and the more arranged complicated tracks to all sound even and nice. And yeah, I thought it was cool. He brought up he never mentioned what it was, which I was curious to find out, but some plugin that he used to kind of make everything airy and spacey and that he kind of applied to everything. But so I'm curious what that was, but but you won't be able to find out if you listen, because he doesn't say.
Right.
Nobody does talk about it.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, it's a really chill, moody, beautiful, simple, neato score.
Yeah, but really consonant, which is one of the things I liked. Like that even though it's like it's kind of heavy. It's not sad heavy. It's like yeah, it's just like very pensive, like thoughtful, like that kind of heavy, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And I liked you did a little, I like whenever you do this because it happens from time to time when you do a little theory breakdown, kind of showing people something you're talking about, and it's the like was it a major seventh or
yeah. I was curious. I'm always curious how that stuff comes across.
I think it's cool. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Because you could
that
hear
major
it like in
seventh,
context.
say it
Yeah.
again.
You could hear it in the context of the score, like when I
Oh
was
yeah,
breaking out the
yeah.
score, and yeah, that's
Yep.
good.
And that particular chord is something that just personally in my life I've overused since I was a lad. So it was like funny to hear that explained. But it's because it set that chord just sets such a beautiful tone. It's so soft for some reason. And like
Yeah.
when it's put together in that kind of context, it works super well. But yeah,
Yep.
it's fun when you get out the keyboard and play some notes to
And by
explain.
keyboard, you mean this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Yeah.
You don't mean piano keyboard. Yeah, I used keyboard typing to make that major seventh chord in the episode. And what's fun actually about this episode, YouTubers get kind of a bonus this time because which is a weird way to put it after you hear what I'm about to say, but I forgot to record the video for this episode. And so what that means, and I know you know this, Sam, but like what this means is that then I'll put up the actual podcast instead of the video. And when we put up these YouTube videos, we don't put music in them. So it's like this time you'll actually get the music. You just won't get the video, even though it'll be on YouTube. So it's this weird kind of like bonus, even though you're not getting exactly what you maybe had hoped for this episode. Oh, so bummed. I didn't even think of it till the end. I know. Yeah, it was such a great conversation, and I know he'll be back someday. But yeah, I was pretty bummed about that. But it'll be nice in the YouTube, the resulting thing that goes up on YouTube, because you'll hear that example. Like, there's this one track that I just loved this one moment in, which was really funny because he couldn't remember doing it because it'd been so long. So it was a really fun conversation.
Do you remember at all which track that was?
Oh yeah, it's called Molly Talk. And it happens.
Yeah.
And I talk about it in the episode and say that a few times, that it's called Molly Talk. And it happens, I think, just shy of about halfway through the track. And it's only maybe like a 3 or 3.5 minute track anyway, or something. So it's only a minute or so in, but yeah. Oh, and it's such a slow moving track. Like the motion it's just these like sustained chords. And so when things move, it's impactful, right? Because the music isn't moving all the time. And so when it does make these moves into these new harmonic places, I think just instinctively we're paying more attention to those motions, and so when he did that major 7 chord in just the right place and in context, it's music theorists would explain it a little differently than just calling it simply a major. I mean, it is simply a major 7 chord, but its function within that context is a little more complex than that. But but it's just so like you say, it's a very soft chord, and not soft in terms of volume, right? It's like it's just like pillowy. It's just like you just kind of fall down on this like beautiful major 7 chord. I don't know. I loved that spot. So yeah, that was really fun. I don't do that very often. So that was fun to dig in and do that with. So
yeah, the other thing I noticed was because I brought this up in the recent past, and I think it's a trend, but I'm definitely paying attention to it now, and that is he's got some like broken kind of trashy synth stuff in some of the tracks too. And in this particular score, it's like softened up really nice to like blend in and stick with kind of the beauty of the whole thing. But this kind of like low end broken trashy synth thing just seems like a trend going on with lots of scores these days. And I don't know if it's because like everyone's so used to synth stuff now that like that's a way to kind of shake it up and add a little punk rock or whatever. But
yeah,
but
maybe.
I love that kind of stuff, and I thought it worked really well. Yeah, there
Mm-hmm.
was a track
Yeah.
called Russian something,
There's a
Russian
couple,
doll
there's
or
Russian bass and there's Russian something.
Russian
There's,
mine.
oh,
Russian
that
mine.
is,
That's the
yep.
one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's got just like this stuff happening in this low end synth, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah. It's very cool. It was great to talk to Ed Critchley about South of the Circle. If you haven't looked at the game, did you look at the game at all, Sam? Did you see any of the
No,
art?
no.
Oh, it's so beautiful. You'd really like the art style of it.
Okay.
You should for sure check it out. And of course, you watching, definitely check out South of the Circle, the game itself. It's a pretty quick, it's an indie game. I think it's maybe a couple, 3 hours through to play, but absolutely gorgeous art and really fantastic music by Ed Critchley. So do you want to, which by the way, if you want to buy, which I always recommend, you can buy the soundtrack for South of the Circle on Steam. So that's where you can find the soundtrack at this time. I don't believe it's released anywhere else. You can also listen to it, though. You can listen to it on Spotify and other places like that. But the only place that you can support the artist by buying it, rather than tossing a penny his way when you stream it on Spotify would be to buy it on Steam. So, yeah. Anything else you want to say about Ed Critchley and South of the Circle? That's the episode coming up this Friday, the 18th from Level.
I don't think so. Nothing's springing to mind, but
okay.
It's another home run.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Oh, you just wait, man. The list that's coming, I can't even. We're very lucky, you and me, to get to talk to these people. It's awesome. So there's some really cool stuff coming up. So hopefully you'll come back and check us out for that. Find us on Patreon at patreon.com/level. Join us on Discord to talk about this upcoming episode and any past episodes. The link for Discord is in the show notes just below us here. And subscribe to this channel. We'd love to have a little subscription from you here. And grateful for you stopping by. I'm Emily Reese. That's Sam Keenan. Say hi, Sam. Or bye, I guess.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Thanks, everybody. Now I just have to figure out how to shut this down, which is going to take me a minute. So, that's funny that we're still live streaming this. And that's just how it's going to be.
The first time.
It is.